And joining me this evening to debate whether Goon Reddy should be sacked, I'm joined by GVL Narasimha Rao, national spokesperson of the BJP, Abha Singh, lawyer and activist, Shailendra Singh, joint managing director of Percept Limited, Trisha Shetty, lawyer, Vijay Krishna, Shiv Sena supporter, and Naveen Chomal, lawyer, who everybody will remember from the time he was representing Ravindra Gaikwad. Yes, you seem to be picking up the right clients, Mr. Naveen Chomal. Every single lawbreaker MP is somebody you support, Mr. Naveen Chomal. But before I go across to my panelists tonight, I want to play out a clip of Diwakar Reddy. I will not call him Member of Parliament, Mr. Diwakar Reddy. I will call him Gunda Diwakar Reddy. And what he said about the role of the Civil Aviation Minister in helping him break the law. Listen in very carefully, ladies and gentlemen, to my colleague Paul questioning Diwakar Reddy and what he said about Ashok Gajapati Raju, the Civil Aviation Minister, and how he helped him break the law.
Ashok, and I told him, I explained, see, if the flight has gone, I can't ask him. If the doors close, I cannot ask him. What is it? People are all there and some people are there. What is this? You are doing it. I can't understand. Please advise. He called immediately some port officer or somebody. I don't know whom he called. They gave the ticket for me. That's all.
You went in the same flight, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I came in the same flight.
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, did you hear that? That's an extremely serious event that's taken place at the Visakhapatnam airport, and it was in the presence of the Civil Aviation Minister. The MP from his own party said, I asked Ashok, and he called up some airport official. The doors had not closed, so I asked him if he could put me on the flight, and he did. This despite the fact that the Member of Parliament came for his flight only 28 minutes before the flight, when you're supposed to report at least 45 minutes to 1 hour before. Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, will your Prime Minister, will our Prime Minister, will the Prime Minister take action against such a minister who has helped his own Parliament member as well as his party member to break the law?
First of all, Navika, I want to cite from your own publication. Times of India reports completely a different story. So I don't know what is the credence to what you have just told me. I think the minister was present in the VIP lounge and he refused to intervene. This is what Times of India says. This Times of India story explains the entire sequence of events and also the statements from Indigo Airlines.
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao,
if the minister
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, I played out, I knew you would try to obfuscate the facts, which is why I played out the bite of the Member of Parliament himself. And Times Now is the only channel to speak to him. Please listen to him once again.
If you want
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, I will play out the bite for you once again. Listen to him. Don't go by reports. Don't go by what I say. Don't go by what anybody else says. Go by what this man, the Member of Parliament, Gunda Reddy says. Listen to him first. Yes, let's play it out.
Ashok, and I told him, I explained, see, if the flight has gone, I can't ask him. If the doors close, I cannot ask him. What is it? People are all there and some people are there. What is this? You are doing it. I can't understand. Please advise. He called immediately some port officer or somebody. I don't know whom he called. They gave the ticket for me. That's all.
You went in the same flight, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I came in the same flight.
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, I played it out again for you. He said, I spoke to Ashok. He called somebody, I don't know who he called, but he called somebody on the airport and I boarded the same flight. That statement made by Gunda Reddy. Is the Civil Aviation Minister for our safety, for the citizens' safety, or is he for privileges of members of parliament from his own party?
No, I think you will have to reach out to the minister himself. I go by what the media reports tell me, because he may not be giving you the exact story. And then if you want to go by his version, he is actually finding a fault with the airline. So I don't want to take anything the MP says on the face value. I don't want to take anything that he says on the face value, and the airline was well within its right if he had not reported on time, because they don't allow you and me, if we go 45 minutes, let's say within 45 minutes from the flight takeoff time, they don't accommodate you and me. So there was no reason for them to accommodate anybody else. And if the minister, in the manner in which the MP had behaved, certainly this is a case to be considered under the no-fly list. I am not going to speak for anyone indulging in a behavior that is completely inappropriate. I think people in public life ought to behave in a model fashion, not even behave like ordinary citizens. They should behave even better.
Mr. G.V.L. Narasimha Rao,
But this is,
Mr. G.V.L. Narasimha Rao, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the most popular politician yet. He is the most popular Neta this country has seen in recent times. This Prime Minister has abolished the Lal Batti culture. That's the diktat coming in right from the top. But what are we seeing on the ground, G.V.L. Narasimha Rao? First you rubbished the charge that we made,
no, but
then now you are trying to distance from Ashok Gajapati Raju, not wanting to take anything at face value. We played out to you. My question to you is very simple. This country expects Prime Minister Narendra Modi to take action against Ashok Gajapati Raju. Will you disappoint 125 crore people by not taking the decision?
No, I think you can't jump to conclusions, and people are not going to believe what you say as the ultimate truth. Let me tell you, this Prime Minister has certainly stood for values in public life. Simplicity. I think we have ended the VVIP culture. We want everyone, every citizen in this country to behave, to become an important citizen. No, there shall be no discrimination on the basis of political status. That's all fine. I think that's what the government,
G.V.L. Narasimha Rao, the entire country is watching what Goon Reddy said. Goon Reddy said something
I am not
which
defending
first
what
you denied, you started quoting reports.
I find... No, you think Times of India is not credible?
Prime Minister is Desh ke logo se G.V.L. Narasimha Rao.
No, is Times of India not a credible newspaper?
Is the member of Parliament's word not enough for you? Is the member of Parliament's word?
No, I trust Times of India more than the member of... I trust Times of India more than the member of Parliament, who is in the eye of the storm. I don't want to go by his version.
Because it gives you an escape route.
I want to go by the version of the eyewitnesses.
Because it gives you an escape route,
What escape route?
G.V.L. Narasimha Rao. Prime Minister Narendra Modi does Mann Ki Baat with the people of this country. Today will he hear the Mann Ki Baat of the people of this country as well, Mr. G.V.L. Narasimha Rao? It's a very simple decision. I don't know why. Because he's a member of Parliament, because he's from an alliance partner, you are defending him, Mr. G.V.L. Narasimha Rao. Would such behavior be allowed to any individual, you or me, if we were at the airport?
I think you are trying to be very clever. You're trying to be shrewd. I made it very clear what the MP has done is absolutely unacceptable. The airline... No, let me complete my statement. What the MP has done, what has been reported in the media...
I'm trying to be clever about what, Mr. G.V.L. Narasimha Rao?
Yes, absolutely, because you want to go by, the MP. You want to go by the version of the MP. You want to go by the version of the MP who actually you're accusing of
rowdy behavior. So are you saying
behavior.
an MP
who
is elected for 6 times? Let me read out the CV of the MP. You are taking the support of this MP to run your government.
I'm not defending him at all. Don't be shrewd.
He's sworn on the Constitution of India.
I'm not defending him at all.
You're calling me clever. You're calling me shrewd.
Him at all.
You're calling me clever. You're calling me shrewd.
Yes.
Are you finding out more and more adjectives to describe me, or rather describe the action of this I'm asking you a simple question. You
I tell
are
you
the
very
lead
clear.
partner in the alliance
I've given a
government
very
that is
simple
running.
answer.
The
I've
NDA
given you a
government
simple
has
answer.
the BJP in the top spot. Yes, what's the action that you will take against the Minister for Civil Aviation who broke the laws when he's supposed to defend the safety of every single air traveler of this country who's citizen of this country, people who buy their tickets? What action should be taken against such a civil aviation minister, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao? Simple question.
I think you lend a lot of credibility to the person whom you are accusing of rude behavior, and I am with you as far as the objectionable behavior
He's a lawmaker.
is concerned.
Shouldn't we
whatever
trust our
is the
lawmakers?
appropriate action.
Shouldn't we trust our lawmakers? Shouldn't we
I
trust
think
our
you are
lawmakers,
contradicting
Mr. Narasimha Rao?
yourself. Should I not trust Times of India? Should I doubt Times of India's reporting quality? Should I, and the rest of the
But
media
that's a
as
report.
well. There are other
That's a
newspapers
report
as well
that's
which have
been filed.
reported
It's
that.
not the final report. It's not a final report. It's the initial report which come in. We've got, Times of India has not spoken to the Member of Parliament. We have. And we've shown it on camera, sir. And we told you what he said about the Minister of Civil Aviation's intervention was all about.
I find it really incredulous that you want to lend credibility and legitimacy to the person who is already being accused of misbehavior. And you want to give credibility to his version. I think good luck to you. I have nothing more to say. As far as I'm concerned, I
when
find
you
the
call me
minister,
clever,
I think
you've called me shrewd, you've called me incredulous, you've called me three adjectives
I find
so far.
that.
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, it's a simple question that I ask. I am asking you in good faith because this country has chosen your party to lead this country, and your Prime Minister and our Prime Minister has set a very, very tall example. My question to you simply, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, is that will this be okay behavior for you to accept? Will you accept such behavior coming in from your alliance partner, a man who's a minister in your government, and his party man whose support you take to run this government? Is this okay behavior from them? Because if it is okay for you, then people of this country will have to think about which government they're supporting.
I've said about the Member of Parliament, I've said whatever has been reported, his misbehavior is completely unacceptable, and action must be taken as per the existing provisions. The same stand we had taken as far as Shiv Sena MP is concerned. Beyond that, I have said what I had to say, and you can try and rope in others. I will not add anything more.
Okay, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, you are quoting a TOI report, a Times of India report. Would you read out very carefully from that report? That report says the minister reportedly refused to intervene.Uld you see the word reportedly in that article that you are quoting?
So what? So you're
Is the word
so what? But
reportedly
the
used?
problem is, I think this what you're trying to do.
No.
The
problem is nothing. I'll solve all your problems, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao. I will solve all your problems tonight. I'm here. We have another hour to go. We'll solve all your problems. I'm asking you, did you see the word reportedly there? Is it there or not?
Maybe it's there. I will reportedly accommodated him on the same flight.
Okay,
this is
maybe
also
it's there. At
reportedly
least I brought you to say maybe
flight.
it's there. Then, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao,
I'll read out. I will read out. I have it before me.
We have... Okay.
No, does Times of India do credible reporting, or does it do shady reporting? I certainly think it's a very credible publication.
It is
and
doing
whatever
reporting.
It reports is based
you are trying to tailor-make the Times of India report to your convenience. All I'm saying is that they are still finalizing their copy. This is the online edition. The online edition brings you news as it comes in. We got there before the Times of India reporter got there. We got you the interview of the man in question, Divakar Reddy, the Gunda member of parliament. We got you his interview. We got you his words. So reportedly is a word used by the Times of India report. Reportedly is not what Times Now is using. We are showing you the exact conversation. Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, now you've called me 3 adjectives. Would you like to call me adjectives on this show tonight, or would you like to answer a simple question that do you, as a citizen of India, as somebody who holds Prime Minister Narendra Modi in high regard, do you also think that we should actually approach our Prime Minister to take action against the Civil Aviation Minister as well, who made this Gunda MP break the law? Simple question.
No, I've given answers several times. I don't wish to do it again. I've answered it 3-4 times.
Okay,
I think
all
I
right.
will not say anything.
So GVL Narasimha Rao, GVL Narasimha Rao has compulsions of coalition politics. Remember those words, GVL Narasimha Rao, they were uttered by the former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. Are you going to be quoting the same, sir? It will be a very sad day for this country if the BJP were also to bow down to compulsions of coalition politics. It will be a very sad day. But let me get in our other panelists in tonight. Shailendra Singh, you've heard the entire question that I've raised with GVL Narasimha Rao. In this case, and you've heard the sound bite that was given by Gunda MP Divakar Reddy. You've listened in that what he said about the intervention of the Civil Aviation Minister. Do you think the Civil Aviation Minister should also be held culpable in this case?
I think, Navika, first of all, it was interesting to hear the representation of the government and the amount of politics that was played in that conversation that just happened, because Mr. Rao on many incidents actually confessed to the fact that that gentleman has committed a crime, but then he kept reporting another article so that there was ambiguity in his crime. But the fact of the matter that really worries us as a country is that such crimes are committed time and again, but nothing happens. But imagine an ordinary citizen committing this crime. Oh my God, he'll be behind bars in 5 minutes. So this is the situation of the country, and what happens is that we all land up playing politics with all this. So yes, the aviation minister is accountable and answerable, but hang on, like you correctly said, Mr. Modi, our Prime Minister, has taken a very strong footing about this whole VIP culture. And hang on, one thing Mr. Rao and our Prime Minister needs to understand, every time a member of parliament or a politician in this country doesn't act like this on national television, actually breaks the law and gets away with it, it actually maligns the reputation of politics and every politician in this country. And that's why all of India and every Indian gets scared of politicians. We should love our politicians. We should trust them, respect them. We get scared of them. Because if this is how you're going to get on board an Indigo flight, then every citizen of this country of 1.4 billion people should push their way, open the door of the plane and get in there. So this is really a bad argument by the government. We heard the representation of BJP that the ruling government we voted for, and we hoped there was a definitive answer or no answer. That this whole middle ground, playing politics every night at 9 p.m., this is truly depressing for India.
Well, Vijay Krishnan, Ravindra Gaikwad ka example nahi banaya. We allowed Ravindra Gaikwad, Goon Gaikwad to get away. That is why we have a Goon Reddy today. Should the action should have been taken with Ravindra Gaikwad so that it would have prevented Goon Reddy from making the same mistake again? Look at those visuals on your screen. How he pushes that Indigo official. And there he goes, pushes him, assaults him. He also goes and breaks the printers on the Indigo flight counter. Should this have been done with Ravindra Gaikwad so that today this would have been prevented? Have we not made an error of judgment by allowing Ravindra Gaikwad to get away?
Navika ji, Vanakkam. I really commend your honest intention to bring to book the real culprits. Here it is very clear through your video clip that an honorable MP today not only insulted a common citizen but the entire country. I already told you And I'm also very sad that you were given 3 adjectives like clever, shrewd,
But you were supporting.
and incredulous by the national spokesperson.
What-
But I would
what
like
did-
to say,
what did you-
I'm
why
seeing,
did you
I'm seeing
support
the same
Ravindra
honest
Gaikwad?
intention of our mother Kannagi to question the establishment. I really commend your honest intention. I'm comparing you to our mother Kannagi. Long back she questioned the establishment for justice. I am saying this is not Gundaism, but this is factionism at its worst. And a few days back, the Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh conducted a Diksha by name Navanirmana Diksha. And I am asking the Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh.
What does that have to
is
do with
this
Goon
the
Reddy?
dream that you want to show
What
up to
does
the
that
world
have to do
build
with
the
Goon
great
Reddy?
Capital known as Amravati. I'm saying you can also
Come
add
to the point.
factionism.
I don't know
This is all about
what
factionism at
sermons
its
you are
worst.
giving. Tonight we are asking you. You were supporting Ravindra Gaikwad. Today another MP has done what Ravindra Gaikwad did. Do you think Ravindra Gaikwad
नाविका जी,
should have
नाविका जी,
been
आप
made an
पहले हिंदी में
example
बात
of?
किया,
He
मैं
should
भी
have
हिंदी
been
में
put
थोड़े-
behind bars.
दो बात करता हूं, मुझे एक मौका दीजिए। हमारा एमपी रविंद्र गायकवाड़ जी ने सच्चाई बोला मीडिया के सामने, but today this factionist MP who has to dream about building a great capital, and recently in his constituency Kia Motors decided to set up a plant. And what if they know that they have such a kind of MP who cannot respect the democratic values, and they try to they decide to pack up and get out of Anantapur district? What happens to the dream of the Honorable Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu? This is now lies at the doorstep of Chief Minister. Please kick out these people out of your team, because he held up Navanirmana Diksha in the heart of the city,
So
Vijayawada.
let's hear what the people of India really think about this. And GVL Narasimha Rao, this is not personal. GVL Narasimha Rao, let's just get a sense of what people of this country really think about our members of parliament, our lawmakers behaving like this when such laws cannot be broken by the common man. How can they be broken by the people who break these laws? Let me get in Mr. Deshmukh from Mumbai. Mr. Deshmukh, go on. What do you think about Goon Reddy? Did we not take serious action against Ravindra Gaikwad, which is why Goon Reddy has got emboldened?
Yeah, I congratulate you, Navika ji. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Deshmukh.
Yeah, I congratulate you, Navika ji, and Times Now for the continuous coverage that you are bringing on this issue. Just to say very broadly, criminal activity and MPs have gone hand in hand for quite a long time in India. Roughly 30% of MPs have been criminals in past also. So we have situation where emotions are created and law and order breaks down. I am just wondering, what is the role of CISF in all this? Are they mute spectators? Is there not some other protocol saying that a person who has gotten this far has to now be stopped because the process has stopped? If a man could not get his boarding pass on time, how could he be frisked properly and then sent to a plane?
All right. We take your point, very valid point being made by Mr. Deshmukh. What was the CISF doing? Also another caller calling in from Chennai, Mr. Raghuram. Mr. Raghuram, what do you think? Should the civil aviation minister be sacked because he helped his party man to break the law?
Yeah. Yes. Good evening, Navika.
Please lower the volume of your TV, Mr. Raghuram, otherwise you won't be able to hear us and we'll get an echo. Please lower the volume of your television sets. Good evening to you, Mr. Raghuram. Yes, go on.
You are doing a wonderful job. I want to first congratulate you for that. And you take it from me.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nothing is going to happen in this matter. As how we have seen in the case of Gaikwad, you have been highlighting this matter continuously for 2-3 days, and how arrogantly that Gaikwad was talking. And at the end of the day, there was a sorry, and the whole matter has died. The same thing is going to happen this time also. You take it from me. You should be thankful that Go did not manhandle your crew who interviewed him. So first you should be thankful to him. And I was really expecting a good reply from our Narasimha Rao ji, for whom I have high regards, at least telling that he has committed a crime and he has to be handled in the right way. But he was giving evasive replies which has hurt me.
Okay,
So
Mr. Raghuram, we'll put your question to Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao. GVL Narasimha Rao, our viewer wants assurance from you that this was a crime that was committed and action will be taken.
Raghuram ji, I totally understand your perspective. I have, whether it's in this case or in the case of Mr. Gaikwad, we've been very categorical. We think, I have stated this upfront even in this program. I think public representatives are expected to exhibit exemplary behavior. And on the other hand, what we are seeing is evidence of very negative behavior. This is not acceptable. And there cannot be two sets of rules for common people and for the VVIPs. So in this instant case, I don't know why the airline accommodated him in the last minute. I think you and I would not be accommodated, and they ought to have followed the same rule for him. Despite his insistence, I don't see any reason why rules should be broken.
And an aeroplane. Because the aviation minister does not know the difference between a tricycle and an aeroplane.
Simple, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, that's the point we've been trying to tell you, that the airline did not follow the rule because there was a call from the aviation minister himself, Ashok Gajapati Raju. That's the point that we are trying to make to you, that Mr. Ashok Gajapati Raju used his position as a civil aviation minister to push his own MP on the flight, following and breaking all laws.
That is your inference, Navika. No, that is your allegation. I think that's not, I don't see that as being substantiated. But if he has done this, I think that's wrong. If he has done this, I don't think so. What you are saying is right. If he has done so, I think
that's big breaking news coming in. If he has done so, then it. Okay, big breaking news coming in. At least GVL Narasimha Rao, spokesperson of the BJP, comes around from first calling me clever, shrewd, incredulous. Now he's at least admitting that if Mr. Ashok Gajapati Raju has done this, then he ought not to have done this, and he's broken the rules. Thank you very much for making that admission, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao. That's what people expect from the BJP, that when you see the principles of the Prime Minister being broken, at least recognize them before taking corrective action. Trisha Shetty, you heard that Member of Parliament. Do you have any doubt in your mind that it was a phone call from the Civil Aviation Minister that made him board the flight from Visakhapatnam to Hyderabad, despite the fact that he had come in only 21 minutes before the flight? Would that have been allowed to you, me, or our families?
Of course it would not have been allowed at this point. You know, we need to reiterate what our Honorable Prime Minister said, where he said that every common man is a VIP in our country. Doing away with the Lal Batti culture. But it can't just be tokenism. We need to have a culture of accountability. I think it was extremely disappointing when we had a phone call that came in, where the man said, you know what, even if this person, Mr. Reddy, has gone ahead and assaulted a person, he's not going to be punished. This culture of impunity is so disappointing. Coming back to the aviation minister's role, this would be a great opportunity for the aviation minister to come forward and say the allegations that have been raised against me are false. I have not made the call. That's all that he needs to do, to set the record straight and say that Mr. Reddy is speaking infactually. The allegations that he's making, where he says that I made a call to Mr. Ashok and he's the one who made the call to Indigo and asked him to be allowed, is false. Set the record straight. We will all be able to, come back and say, you know what, Mr. Reddy is a liar on record. He's assaulted an airline official. On record, he needs to be punished according to law. And even coming back to the statement that you made, where you said, should Mr. Gaikwad have been punished? Should he have been made an example out of? I think We did not need to make an example out of him. We needed to treat him just as we would have treated any other common person who would have assaulted an airline staff personnel and thrown his weight around and then bragged about it. We should have treated him as we would have treated any common citizen. Even in the case of Mr. Reddy, we need to treat him as we would have treated any common citizen who would have dared to throw his weight around. The point is, this would not happen with a common citizen because we know better. We know that we would be held accountable. We know that, you know, the law of the land would be applied to us, where we would be held accountable. We would not be impugned to this. This kind of culture that we're seeing.
That's
even
the point.
Mr. Rao,
It's
great that Mr. Rao is condemning such behavior.
These members of parliament know that they will get away. And let me just read out to you the comments that we are getting from our viewers on involve.in. What are they saying? Can all airlines show courage again to stop this member of parliament for flying from some time at least, like in the case of Gaikwad? This is coming in from Ashish. Also, Ashish asks, to all, do you really think any action will be taken against anyone? Must be dreaming with the president election so soon. So GVL Narasimha Rao, it's a cynical country. They really believe that no action will ever be taken because now you need your alliance partners for the presidential elections. So no action will be taken against anybody. One more member of parliament will get away.
No, Navika, I think I'm surprised why you have not made an effort to reach out to Indigo. Because in the case of Mr. Gaikwad, it was the Air India, a public sector, a government airline, but they stood their ground throughout. I think Mr. Gaikwad had attacked a staffer of Air India, and they protested, and they spoke to the media. And I don't know why you have not reached out to the Indigo airline, because a private airline should be in a better position to defend themselves. I think if indeed, whatever he has done, I think it is they who have to register a case. And if police doesn't register a case based on a complaint by the Indigo airline, I think certainly the media should step in and question them.
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, I'm very sorry to say, but tonight you are making too many assumptions of us not doing our journalism well. First, you question the word that we were taking of the Member of Parliament, J.C. Divakar Reddy. Now I'll read out. It's been put on air. It's been reported here that Indigo has given a statement. Indigo has confirmed that the incident of an unruly behavior at Visakhapatnam airport today, Mr. J.C. Divakar Reddy, who was scheduled to fly with Indigo 6E608 en route Visakhapatnam to Hyderabad, reported 28 minutes prior to the scheduled departure. The staff politely informed him that boarding for the flight 6E608 is closed and offered to accommodate Mr. Reddy in the subsequent flight. Mr. Reddy expressed his annoyance against the staff using aggressive and abusive behavior. Indigo saw a footage aired by some media personnel which shows the visual representation of Mr. Reddy's aggressive behavior against the staff and further damaging the airport property. According to the Times Now clip, the Indigo statement recognizes that Times Now was the first channel to air the clip. Aired this evening around 5 p.m. It states that J.C. Divakar Reddy, TDP MP, first created ruckus at the airport in 2016 in October and now goes on to rampage against the airline staff, arrives late for a flight and vandalizes airport property. This is the statement of Indigo. This is on the screen. This is the statement of Indigo. Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao.
Yes.
Yes. You have
I think they should have registered. I hope.
Of Civil
I hope they have.
Mr. Ashok Gajapati Raju,
don't try this with me again and again.
You also have a Minister of State, Mr. Jayant Sinha, who is from the BJP itself. Maybe you can check with him. Indigo is also now going to file a criminal complaint. All of this has been found out by Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao by Times Now. We've reported all these facts.
No, where is the complaint from Indigo? They should first file a police complaint and then action must happen. I certainly don't want this kind of, we don't think this kind of behavior should be condoned at all. Whoever it is, be it a member of parliament,
So,
be it a minister, or MP who belongs to the civil aviation minister, should not be taken. I think the Indigo should file a complaint.
You have a problem with me taking on face value the words of the Member of Parliament, Mr. Reddy, Goon Reddy. You have a problem with that. You have a problem even with the visuals. And let me play out the visuals for our viewers. Look at those visuals. We have not one but three videos of Goon MP. Look at the visual to the left of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. That is Mr. Reddy arguing, and that's the printer he's picked up. Airport property that was vandalized. That's the printer he's picked up, and he's trying to throw it away. The middle of your screens, he's beating up an employee, assaulting an employee of Indigo. And in the third video to the right of your screen, there he goes and pushes the employee and then shuts the door. Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, are these pictures also lying? Will you doubt these pictures? Will you doubt Goon Reddy's statement and protect Mr. Ashok Gajapati Raju? Still?
I find you're not being logical enough. I do not doubt any of your pictures. I trust all your pictures. So what is the next step? Tell me what is the next step. You're a journalist, you understand how government functions. Tell me what is the next step. If somebody indulges in a behavior like this, who should take action? Is it times now? It is for the agency whose property has been destroyed.
Times Now can only bring it to your notice.
Whose employees have been pushed.
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao.
No, why? What will I do with that notice?
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao,
the airline concerned,
may I just tell you that either suddenly
you're wasting your time.
Completely unacceptable as a journalist.
I think you're wasting.
I'm wasting my time.
Your time. I'm asking you. It is for the Indigo whose property has been destroyed.
I'm wasting time.
Whose employees have been attacked. They must complain.
Abha Singh, let me get in. Abha Singh, since you have found so many adjectives for me tonight, GVL Narasimha Rao, since you have found so many adjectives for me tonight, I'm not going to shout, I'm not going to scream.
No, I'm saying logical action must happen.
I'm going to allow somebody else, I'm going to allow somebody else to look at what I'm asking and what you are responding. Abha Singh, I've been called clever, shrewd, incredulous, not logical, and somebody who's wasting time. Five things that I've been accused of today only because I'm asking a simple question on whether the BJP will take action and sack the civil aviation minister along with sacking the member of parliament, the Goon parliamentarian Reddy. Abha Singh, am I being any of these things? Am I just asking the question on whether action will be taken against the Minister for Civil Aviation or not?
I think, Navika, you've done a brilliant job of putting all the facts absolutely factually in front of the public. Spokesperson Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao doesn't have anything to say because his minister is in soup, his MP is in soup, and he doesn't have guidelines from his bosses to say anything. He is now saying why Indigo is not complaining. Let me tell you, in this totalitarian state, does Indigo, which is doing business, have the courage to speak against the MP? Air India could still speak because it was a government and their jobs are secure. They would cancel their licenses, they would harass. Who has the guts to speak against the civil aviation minister when he is in aviation business? So that is why he's calling you shrewd and clever, because he doesn't want to say anything against the minister. They will not take any action. They want police to register so that they can condemn the police. What has happened earlier? That in Ravindra Gaikwad case, the police did not take any action. So now they want that you register an FIR, and then they say the police is not doing anything. When the ruling party, when they have the mandate, why can't they take off the minister? You are endangering the lives of the public when civil aviation law very clearly says 45 minutes before the gates have to close. A common man loses a flight. But how can a minister ask the authorities that you let the MP go? The minister himself has violated the law. Then we have something called Prevention of Damage to Public Property Act 1984, which section 3 says mischief. When you destroy any property, it is an offense. In fact, it provides for 6 months imprisonment. Not only that, you have further laws which say anything which is damaged has to be recovered from the person who has broken it. Mr. Narasimha Rao is not talking of any of that, and he's trying to bring Times of India report. When what he's seeing with his eyes, he doesn't want to believe, then that is the reason he's trying to say what you are talking is out of context. It is a sad day in this democracy that a spokesperson comes and is not ready to take the onus and is not ready to be honest about it. I think banning removing the red lights, it was just mere tokenism. VIP racism is going to stay if such statement is given by a spokesperson of the government.
Well, Naveen Chomal, you found Ravindra Gaikwad completely in the right. Now, do you find Goon Reddy also in the right? Has he done the correct thing? He has broken the printers on the counter of Indigo Airlines. He has beaten up Indigo employees, all because he came late, and then he used the civil aviation minister to get on to the flight as well. You must be thinking all this is right. He is well within his rights to do so.
Navika ji, entire nation is watching us, so let us talk logically. I didn't find Ravindra Gaikwad to be absolutely right. I was only trying to present the other side of the truth, that's all. Admitting that his reaction was not justified. Same way in this case of Mr. Reddy, his reaction to the situation was not justified. He should have behaved in a lawful manner, and what the crime he has done as a reaction, law will take its own course, he will face the action, there is no doubt about it. But
okay, law will take its own course.
Yes.
But isn't this abuse of power? Naveen Chomal,
I'm not completed, madam. Please let me complete.
When a
Please
member
let me
of
complete one very important point, Navika ji.
People.
The issue is something very important. See, the airlines is not just a luxury industry or a hospitality industry. It has become an essential service also. And please appreciate, it's very tough job being in public life. People don't have any personal life of their own, and they have to be at the service of many people, and the time is not in their hands. So at times that particular representative of public was late. If it was possible for the airline to somehow adjust it,
so that justifies breaking the law, that justifies breaking the printer, that justifies assaulting employees of the Indigo Airlines, that justifies
everything. When I am saying that I am not justifying it, his reaction was wrong. Law will take its own course. But I am giving another side of the truth, that what happened initially, the airline ought to have handled the situation very properly in a matured manner, that he is public, is a public life, he is a representative public, he has to attend to many public works, and time is not in his hands. So if he's got late, if it is possible,
so are you
let us try to adjust him.
Are you condemning Goon Reddy's behavior? Are you condemning Goon Reddy's behavior?
Nobody in the nation is going to justify it,
or would you take him as a
Nobody in the
now?
nation is going to justify it. His reaction to the situation was wrong. He will face the consequences of the law. But I am just trying to expose our thoughts to the first dimension of the truth, that what happened, what triggered the situation, what the airline should have handled the situation in a more matured manner, because this man is in public life, he is an MP, he is serving many people, so it is at times not possible for
listen to what the viewers tonight think. Ramabhadran, Mr. Ramabhadran calling in from Chennai. Mr. Ramabhadran, what do you think? Should the civil aviation minister also step down after helping his goon member of parliament to break the law?
Yeah.
Please turn down the volume of your television set, otherwise we will not be able to hear you. Please put off the TV set and so we can hear you. Yes, Mr. Ramabhadran.
First, good evening. This is happening quite open now.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. This type of incidents happening. Yeah, this type of incidents is happening quite often. We have a respect on our Prime Minister. Under him, Mr. G.L. Narasimha Rao is working. He should give respect to his leader, first Narendra Modi. He should not support like these gundas. Another thing, his own minister done a wrong thing by influencing him boarding to the flight.
Minister should take action against Mr. Narasimha Rao to behave well in the channel. He should, we all have
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Ramabhadran. Mr. Ramabhadran there, Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, I hope you are hearing him. He says that Mr. Ashok Gajapati Raju should step down immediately in honor and in due respect to the Prime Minister. He should step down from his position. Mr. Ram calling in from Chennai. In fact, he's calling in from Nairobi. Yes, Mr. Ram, what do you think?
Yeah, hi, good evening. I'm calling from Nairobi, Kenya. Radhika, you know, this is a very...
Yes, good evening, Mr. Ram.
Yeah, my name is Rao, R-A-O, Rao from Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay, yes, Mr. Rao.
Yeah, now, I would like to, Radhika, first of all, it's a good thing that you are bringing out to the people of India what is happening, but I want to tell one thing, Radhika, you know, see, you cannot blame Naidu, you cannot blame, you know, Narasimha Rao, or you cannot blame Ashok Gajapati Raju. You see, yes, the law has to take action on the people who make mistakes. Right, for example, in Nairobi, Kenya, where the Prime Minister Modi visited, all our ministers, the senior cabinet ministers, when they go to the airport, they have the regular checkup, they have regular timings, and they follow it. But then, I see that in your committee, people, especially the man, with all the respect to the man with the orange color, with the cap, he blames Naidu. You know, today Naidu worked for 18 hours. He sacrificed his life. If somebody makes a mistake, his MP, is it Naidu?
Well, but he's supporting those in his party who are breaking the law, Mr. Rao. So, Mr. Naidu will have to stand up also for citizen rights. What about the rights of the citizens who pay money and purchase tickets so that they get aviation security, which these members of parliament and the minister himself are breaking rules for? Thank you very much, Mr. Rao, for joining us. Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, 30 seconds last. Will you give an assurance to the people of this country that this incident, a second incident, will not go away unnoticed by the government, because people are now becoming cynical that Ravindra Gaikwad got away. He was one alliance partner. Now it's a TDP member, Parliament, Mr. Divakar Reddy. He is also going to get away only because the government is very powerful and nothing happens to people in power.
No, Navika, I think this entire narrative in this country has to go. I think the problem is with the mindset, and it's not with party A or B. I think people of the country, you have some callers from abroad who have told you how this problem of mindset exists in this country. I think with the end of the red beacon culture, I think there has been actually a shock. It acted as a shock treatment for people who have been actually intoxicated with this power. I think the guidelines that
so blame the mindset, but no action promise. Blame the mindset, but people in this country will continue to ask you the question, why should the Prime Minister only take a decision and stop at preventing Lal Battis from going on? Why should the Prime Minister not also take notice of his own minister breaking the law, his own alliance partner's member of parliament breaking the law? That's the entire country's lookout at this point. That's what people of this country want action on, because VVIP racism from our lawmakers is something that this country will always oppose, will never tolerate. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining.